What's up guys, Ember Power here, back with a new video, this time taking a look at Reshiram. Reshiram is an amazing rare Pokemon with amazing attack, amazing blaze, a lot of amazings, that deals 270 damage and also 60 to itself, but the problem is the attack costs Fire, Lightning, Dark. Now previously there was very few ways in the standard format to get this running. Some people tried Trumbeak and Turbo Patch and all those kind of like complicated, a bit nefarious kind of ways of accelerating energy to use Amazing Blaze. Even the new Pokemon Go Blastoise was an option, but none of them like really worked very successfully. However, with the introduction of Lost Origin, we now have access to a brand new item card called Mirage Gate that will allow us to search our deck for up to 2 different types of basic energy and attach them to one of our Pokemon if we have 7 or more cards in the Lost Zone. And thanks to the new comfey engine that allows us to look at the top 2 cards of our deck, put one in the Lost Zone, one to our hand, we can easily get there. Of course, we do have the amazing supporter card Colress Experiment that also allows us to look at the top 5 cards of your deck, put 3 of them into your hand, and the other cards into the Lost Zone. So over the course of turn 2, turn 3, really, we should be able to get enough cards in the Lost Zone to start attacking with Cramorant, and then from there on out, we can attack with either Reshiram or Radiant Charizard. So Cramorant is kind of like our backup attacker slash main attacker in the early game, very useful for taking those early prize cards, has the amazing ability Lost Provisions, says if you have 4 more cards in the Lost Zone, ignore all energy in this Pokemon's attack cost. So we can do 110. Unfortunately, it's not affected by weakness, but still 110 for what is effectively 0 energy is very good. Some lists play the Articuno to buff damage, but it's not really the space in this list because we have to make way for 3 different types of basic energy. So I ended up playing Choice Belt, which will allow us to do 3 more damage. So not only does Cramorant 2-shot all the V-Stars with Choice Belt, it also means our Reshiram can 1-hit KO all the V-Stars with Amazing Blaze. That will deal 300 damage. Now, I am playing Magma Basin. This has actually been like a massive help in the deck, and I'm tempted to cut the 1 copy of Temple of Sinnoh. But Magma Basin will allow us to accelerate a basic Fire from our discard pile to one of our Pokemon, e.g. Reshiram or Radiant Charizard. I think Radiant Charizard is an amazing attacker, and I thoroughly recommend trying it out before going off Teachran. If you're unable to trade for Radiant Charizard because it has just 1 Baltimore Regionals, I got this guy when it was super cheap just before Lost Origin dropped. But I would recommend, playing this over Radiant Heatran. But if, for whatever reason, you can't trade for this and you're trying to keep this as cheap as possible, I do recommend the Heatran as an alternative. Don't write it off because everyone says, oh, Heatran's trash. Magma Basin does make Heatran a very strong card and a devastating attacker in the late game. However, Radiant Charizard is just a wee bit more efficient, and the 250 is just easily paid for off with, Mirage Gate and our opponent taking prize cards. So very powerful attackers. We even have the Zigzagoon here just for the Headbutt Tantrum that says once in your turn you place Pokemon to your bench and you deal 1 damage counter on someone. So it's just really helpful for 270 to become 280, 110 to become 120 with a belt that's 160, so we can 2-hit KO just some of the bigger Pokemon that are rocking around. So that's pretty, self-explanatory. It's why we play it. We also have to run a high count of switching items just so we can move around Comfeys and Cramorants when we want. We play 2 Escape Rope, we also play 4 Net, 2 Switch, and then 3 Air Balloon. You can mix around this count, but this has been working solid for me, so I've not really got a reason to change it. I've noticed some of these decks don't actually play very many supporters. I've opted to go down that route effectively with 4 Colress Experiment, 3 Boss's Orders. I'm also playing 2 of the Magma Basin that we mentioned earlier, and 1 copy of Temple of Sinnoh just to provide a bit of disruption against Mew. There's a very popular build of Mew now, the double turbo build, where they just put like 4 special energy and that's it. So just having Temple of Sinnoh can give you a really powerful edge in some turns. And even if you just get 1 turn out of it, that's still a major turn to have because it will contribute to being able to set up the strategy of 2-hit killing Mews, which you can do with 1 Cramorant and then 1 Reshiram. So nothing is safe from your 2-hit KOs. Not even Guja really can out-heal you, so as long as you get the first hit in, you should be okay against Guja, largely. So yeah, not really much else to say about the deck. It's been super successful. I honestly thought it would be a wee bit of a flop just because of how many different energy you still have to make room for. But the deck has been super fun to play on the ladder. So far, the highest win streak I managed is 6. I did manage 5 the other day and then 4 the previous day. So it is pretty good, I would say. It's definitely been a successful deck. So yeah, let me know what you think down below. Hope to see you on some gameplay. It's been Emma Power, and yeah, thank you for watching. So just looking at a game here. Up against a fire type deck box, Alvaro. See, we don't know what they're playing, but my guess is as good as yours, to be fair. Yeah, fire types. Had it rough in the TCG. I think I'll say second. I don't necessarily want to go first every time, and without having a foggiest clue what they're playing. So we open with the Reshiram, which is a bit of a shaky start because it gives away what we're playing immediately. Looks like we're up against some kind of Charizard deck, but it'll be likely paired with the Charizard V-Star or the Centiskorch, I would imagine. So we'll just have to see what they grab with VIP Pass. Cinccino, Charmander, so looking more like a single prize matchup, which is a bit annoying because our cramorant doesn't actually have a weakness, which is really frustrating. So, okay, so we kind of have to go with Colress Experiment here anyway. And, okay, this is a very, yeah, I mean, we want this. I don't want that for next turn, though. Oh, this is tricky. Suppose I have more cram in deck. Yeah, this is tricky. I think I would probably should take the draw spotter, but we'll take these. Then I will bench Comfey, bench cramorant. See, we can play a switch here, or we can just manually retreat if we use the balloon. I think I will do that, actually. So I can just use this. Let's get the manual retreat in there. Then we can play Basin if we want. Don't we want to loss zone the rod, but I will take the quick ball. Quick ball away a lightning energy. Get a Comfey. Not much else going on. Prize to a couple of energy, which is unfortunate, but other than that, not too shabby. Can accelerate energy, but it does give him more options for next turn, so I just go ahead and switch into the Comfey here. We'll probably just take the escape rope. And take this early knockout. I don't think using the base in this turn really matters, so we'll just spit innocently and take a prize card. So getting the darkness energy is good, so now we can go base in and then attach dark, and then the following turn go lightning, and then we'll have cramorants to work with until that point. So we'll just have to see what our opponent uses. I mean, they have their own basin anyway. Okay, no reason to attack the active, so we just boss's orders. It's funny, the internet connection is going to kick me out. Maybe. We'll just mag basin over there. Touch a dark energy. And then spit instantly. So this is kind of like what you want to do against the majority of decks. You don't necessarily want to wait until you have Mirage Gate. It is helpful if you do, if you get all the lost zone pieces out quickly. But sometimes just attaching manually to Reshiram is fine, and there we go, my opponent just concedes. So we just have this threat building up on the bench that can throw out 270. So even if we hit like a V or V star for one time with cramorant, we can then just run in there with, Reshiram and hit for 270 the following turn, or even 280 and deal with big Pokemon. So just quickly see if we can get a general idea of what my opponent was actually playing. Okay, it was actually just Leonzard. That's fair enough. Playing the Radiant Heatran. It's not something you see very often, but I guess it makes sense if you're playing Magma Basin. Some decent rewards. Hopefully the next ladder is good, because I'll tell you now, grinding for Jolteon feels very weak, to be honest. Grinding for Jolteon feels very weak. I definitely want to have better rewards. But yeah, I'll do it for this game.